What's up, YouTube? It's your boy JB, aka the King of Soul, and today we got some Nike Prestos to look at. Now, this is the collaboration with Off-White. Now, this is the 10 colorway. Before we get into the review, do me a favor, make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel. If you do dig the content, also hit that share button. Now, these videos that we do on this channel are strictly for review purposes, so if you do happen to have any questions or comments, definitely feel free to drop those down below. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into the review. So this Off-White sneaker does come in like, that standard inverted cardboard box. So on the top of the lid, you do have this Nike swoosh text there, and then there is some Off-White branding here in black on the box. And then from there, it's pretty much your standard brown cardboard. And then the bottom of the box actually does have some Nike branding, and then the copyright information. So for those that do care about that, there you go. Now, the box label on this sneaker does read the 10 Nike Air Presto. The colorway says black, black, and muslin. So when you do open the box, just like with, most Off-White sneakers, they do have that inverted Nike box. So you do have that orange, red, box on the inside, layout on the inside with the white Nike branding. You do have that wax Off-White paper here, and the shoe does actually come double wrapped. So up underneath, you do have this thin white tissue paper here. And then from there, you actually met with the actual sneaker itself. So this is actually one of my favorite Presto collaborations with Off-White. They actually do have another black version where it's all black, and then they also have a white Off-White Presto as well. The Off-White version is actually probably my second favorite out of the two. This one here, I just like it a little bit better because it is a black sneaker. I'm more of a fan of having just some hits of some colors. So this Off-White muslin color going across the midsole kind of makes this one stand out from the other, black sneaker where it's all black. But for the most part, when you do look at the sneaker, it does look consistent with most Nike Prestos. But there you go, Nike Off-White Presto. So we're going to take a look at the right sneaker. So for the most part, the sneaker is composed of this mesh material throughout the entire upper portion of the sneaker. On the lateral side, you are met with this made in China tag here. The mid portion of the sneaker, it does have that cream Off-White cage there. And again, that's consistent with most Off-White sneakers. And then you do have this strap here, and it does have the Off-White Air branding there for this back Velcro strap on the sneaker. The middle portion throughout the entire sneaker, it's all mesh. Overlapping this mid portion here, it is overlapping this plastic black Nike swoosh, and it does have that orange tab there. The midsole of the sneaker is composed of this muslin cream color. Going toward the front of the sneaker, so you do actually have this mesh toe box and kind of a mud guard situation here, but it is this black mesh material. And then going toward the tongue, you do have this exposed foam material here. Now, the tongue of the sneaker is composed of mesh and styrofoam. Now, the tongue does actually have this exposed foam here, and there is a white tag here, and it does have the red Nike branding there. There's also some red stitching going across the tongue of the sneaker as well. The sneaker does come laced, and it does have these flat ovalish white shoelaces, and then it actually has the shoelaces text with most Off-White sneakers there in black. The sneaker does actually come with a few lace options, and I'll show that going towards the end of the video because that is inside the second sneaker. And that's pretty much it for the mid portion of the sneaker. Now going on the medial side, pretty consistent with the other side. There it is. You do have that Presto cage. Again, it's all black mesh going through the entire upper. You do have the other side of the Velcro strap going towards the back of the sneaker, and then there's your muslin cream midsole. Going towards the back of the sneaker, you do have this nylon. It's like a stiff nylon here, and that actually is like just like, you know, like a lace loop for the Velcro to travel from, like, you know, one side to the other. But again, you do have more of that mesh material here, and then like this, I think this is more like a plastic. I don't know what the mid portion, that cage is made of, but it does seem kind of plasticky to me. But you do have more of that going towards the rear of the sneaker on the back, and then more of that muslin cream midsole there. But for the most part, pretty, you know, just like any other not off-white, but Nike Presto sneaker. The only thing that I don't think I mentioned was, like, you know, the Nike branding that's actually here on the midsole, and it is actually here on this side as well. Now, also on the medial side, you do have that off-white branding going up under the cage there, and that's consistent with most off-white sneakers. I'll definitely try to get a closer image of that on the B-roll. But for the most part, the left sneaker is pretty consistent with the right. The only thing that's a little bit different on this side, of course, they did provide the Nike off-white, you know, zip tie there as well. And there is, like, you know, the text on it that does say Off-White, care of Nike, and then it says copyright 2017, and then it says zip tie. But other than that, the sneakers are pretty consistent from the left to the right. Inside the sneaker, you actually do have these. They did give you a few lace options. Now I'm actually going to stick with the white laces in this one here, but they actually did give us a few of them. So you do have this, I call it like a caution cone orange. You have black, and then you also have the this green here. The green laces actually has shoelaces in black, and then the orange and black actually has the shoelaces off white text and white on going towards, like, you know, the lace tips. Other than that, that's pretty much it on this sneaker. Now, the insole of the sneaker, they do have this off-white branding on the midsole, so it is a black insole, and it does have the off-white branding in black. And then one more thing, I did almost forget about this too. So, like with Nike Prestos, when you do fold down the tongue of the sneaker, there is this Nike branding that is there up underneath. I know that's like a Presto thing. I don't really know like the history or anything behind it, but I just think that that was kind of like, you know, like a neat touch. And for the most part, that is pretty much it. The bottom portion of the sneaker is in that muslin cream color, and it does, you know, it's pretty consistent with the bottoms of, you know, Nike Prestos. But if I were to rate this sneaker, me personally, I do like Prestos. I felt like this is actually one of my favorite, again, this is my favorite of the Off-White Presto collaborations with Nike. So, like, I'm actually going ahead and give this one a 10 out of 10. As far as like comfort and sizing, the sneaker does fit like any other Nike Presto sneaker. Me personally, I do feel like Prestos do fit kind of snug and tight. That's fine for me. I do like my sneakers to kind of actually be tight. I don't really like too much like room in my sneakers because, of course, like as you're walking, the bigger the sneaker, it'll actually, like, you know, crease on you a little bit more. So I like to have my sneakers more form fitting. And then because it is like, you know, like a trainer slash like, you know, running type shoe, and then the material that's actually used on this sneaker, what actually ends up happening as you wear the sneaker, the material does kind of stretch out and does form to your foot. So I would recommend staying true to size with this particular sneaker. I wouldn't recommend going up a half size or anything like that. Just understand that it is kind of like, you know, like a tight fit. So just, you know, do with that information as you will. But again, 10 out of 10, we already went over the sizing, but I definitely want to take the time to shout out the vendor for getting me a pair of these sneakers to actually review for you guys on this channel. I encourage you guys to always stay engaged with me. Make sure you follow me on all social media platforms. I could be reached on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, even here on YouTube. Everything is at the King of Soul. But before we go, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a 360 and the B-roll like always. But there you go, Nike Off-White Presto. So there's the front of the sneaker. There's the lateral side of the right sneaker. Lateral side of the left, exposing like that red Nike Off-White tag. There's the bottom of the sneaker, again in that muslin colorway, and it's like, consistent with, most Nike Air Presto bottoms. There's the medial side of the sneaker. And then there is the back. So again, I do thank you guys for taking the time, for tuning in like always, but until next time, see you later.